Coming in as the second most important day in May, behind May 4th, because all the Star Wars geek likes Jason, like to go on and say May the 4th be with you.
Also from Arrested Development, Quattro de Cinco.
It is May 28th, and that is when the Champions League final will be upon us. It is an all-Madrid final, Atletico in the red and white, probably against Real Madrid in the white if there's not a kick clash. Who knows? We will see. An interesting final, to say the least. I did predict this. I did, Jason.
I see it.
I was waiting for some sort of response. So I did predict it. And of course, in typical TYT sports fashion, we're going to make some early predictions and talk about the final itself. But before we get to that, Jason, you have some interesting facts to throw at me. So hit me with your first one.
I got 3. UCL
So here's the
odds. Awful. Don't bet on the game. No good odds here. 4-5 for Real Madrid, 11-10, which means Atletico favored. And according to a lot of Twitter polls I've seen, they're favoring Atletico 80% to 20%, 90-10. Some people have it at 70% chance for Atletico. I actually am surprised. I know how great Atletico has been, but I'm not going to ever count out what lethal attack that the BBC brings. Although it might not be. It might just be the BC.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, I'm going to
might
make
not be a B in there.
I'm going to make an argument for you to disregard any of the attacking prowess that Real Madrid
That's
have.
fine. You're allowed to make that argument.
Yeah, I mean, you just look at their track record. Barcelona and Bayern Munich. There's no team in the world that has more of attacking threat than those two.
Yeah.
And they were able to use that. They're the best team in the world at using other teams' attacking prowess as their biggest weakness, because they love to flood the flanks. They love to push forward the fullbacks.
It's a one-off situation.
It is. That's the difference. It's a one-off situation. But
Atletico
Madrid just know, like, one thing that will go against Real Madrid is they will overcommit. Many a times you'll see Carvajal and Marcelo overcommit, and Atletico Madrid need a millisecond to form a counter-attack. I think Atletico Madrid will win. That is my prediction. I think they're still sore from the Champions League final, in which they were harshly done. It was a last-minute goal by Ramos, who I think may be one of the main, I would say, players in the game that Atletico Madrid are going to try and isolate. A one-on-one with Griezmann and Ramos will not go in the Spaniards' favour with that dodgy haircut that he has at the moment.
Shocking, to say the least. Which one of the 3 Stooges is it that has the same haircut as him? Like the bowl cut thing. That would be Mo.
Thank you, Dad. With a Jim Carrey-like fringe on.
Yes.
So we have so at the moment, Atletico Madrid, I think, are favourites, and that's a fair assumption. They're higher than them in the league by 1 whole point, which in La Liga terms means like
that actually
miles
is a
away.
big point, because how great those 3 teams are,
Yeah.
that they don't really concede, they don't really drop points.
It's so funny that Atletico are on the same points as Barcelona, and no one even brings it up, because they're just like, Barcelona aren't going to lose.
Well, you know what,
They went through that minor blip.
that leads me to element number 3. Right?
Interesting.
So I'm reading through some articles, right? And I don't know if Diego Simeone gets enough credit, considering those who we talk about all the time in terms of excellence on the managing side of the game. On an annual budget that has had more in common with Everton, Newcastle, and Aston Villa than Manchester United, Bayern Munich, or Real Madrid, he has turned Atletico Madrid into serial contenders for football's biggest prizes. A second Champions League final in 3 years awaits, and having also already won La Liga, Copa del Rey, Europa League, European Super Cup, and the Spanish Super Cup, it is now the only major honor that eludes him. And he was talking before about, well, Mourinho, when it comes up, he comes up with all these comparisons to the greats of Sir Alex Ferguson and all these managers over the last 5-10 years. Why doesn't Diego Simeone get mentioned?
Diego Simeone deserves all the credit in the world, and that is why he's going to be one of the hottest managers in the market in the summer. And again, the question will be asked is why? Why would he leave? Maybe he wants to go to another challenge, but he hasn't won the Champions League yet. So if he doesn't win it this year, you better believe with that amount of passion and that amount of drive, he's going to want to win it next year. He'll want to stay put. I know Arsenal may be circling the pond if they ever part ways with Arsene Wenger, the third head of the club.
No.
We don't see that happening. But there's a reason he gets the credit in terms of his name always circulating amongst the new team. Oh, we want Simeone, we want Simeone. And maybe Simeone is like the Benzema who just continue to talk. I'm not fucking leaving. Why would I leave? Every year Benzema's linked with another club and he probably just sits there and is like, why?
I look at it 2 ways. If you lose, you're hungry for getting back there. You've
Yeah.
done it twice in 3 years. You know you can get there 3 times in 4 years. It's not out of the question. And then if you win, well,
What's wrong with winning some more?
You've done everything you can. Let's do more. Not everything you can. You've done everything. You've accomplished pretty much every cup. Your trophy cabinet is full. There's no room right now for more trophies. You have to go out and build a bigger cabinet.
But it would be good. I think one of his major I would say, motives behind it is to why not be the best team in Spain? Why not be considered the best team in Spain?
Well, right now, there's an argument they are the best team in Spain.
But again, why not have an argument to the point where it's like, all right, well, there's no argument to be made. Atletico are the best team, and I think that would be a great achievement for him. But with that same topic, let's talk about, in the very end of this, who's going to be the crucial players in this game? Because there's many crucial players, but I want to narrow it down to one. Who do you think is a game changer for Real Madrid?
Actually, for Real Madrid, okay, we're going to start with Atletico Madrid because I already had
that. Okay, let's have that in your head. Who's the game changer for Atletico?
I actually think, and this is, maybe this is a cop-out, but I actually believe it's going to be Oblak. Who's been phenomenal all year long, but I think that we talk so much about the back four for Atletico Madrid and how strong they are, how much they play as a unit, and really we saw it with Bayern. Bayern's attack from the 70th minute on and trying to get that goal, nothing was getting into that box. That box was basically a chastity belt. Nobody in, nobody out, ever. But a lot of that I think comes from Oblak's direction.
Yeah.
He's screaming, he's yelling, he's getting his team really focused on what needs to be, I guess, the integral parts of playing defense. But on top of that, he's made some tremendous saves.
Yeah.
And he's also been, I just feel like this additional anchor, right? And you watch the guy play, he's constantly moving, he's constantly making the right play.
Yeah.
The smart play, and he doesn't seem like it's that hard for him. Obviously, it's difficult, but I'm saying like it seems effortless, like when Neuer was really playing like the third best player in the world with the Ballon d'Or.
Absolutely, and I think it's a great call, many of which people will go to, and they would often go to the same call for Real Madrid and say that Keylor Navas
has been
amazing, arguably one of the best in the world as well. And I think it is a testament to what people need to understand about what this final will be when both of our key players are going to be defensive minds. Is going to be the same player I've been mentioning all season in Casemiro for Real Madrid. And there's more of a reason why with Casemiro, because Sergio Ramos, Griezmann is going to want him to overcommit, come out of his comfort zone, make those rash tackles, potentially get sent off, which is definitely a factor which has to be taken into account every big game, is that Ramos could be sent off. I'm not over-exaggerating. He's rash in his tackles. He's not the same player, I don't think, that he has been. Still good, but Pepe's been covering for Ramos. That just was never something that you'd expect before. So the reason why I think Casemiro is important is because Griezmann's going to want to cause a question. He's going to be like, come on, Ramos, I'll lure you out. I'm the bait. Come and hit me in a tackle, and then allow for Torres to spin in behind, or allow for Saul Niguez to make that run in behind, who's crucial as well, by the way, for Atletico Madrid. But Casemiro provides him that protection. I always use the term, he's the condom in front of them, not letting anything through. He's there.
The condom?
Yeah, the condom.
Sponsored by Trojan.
Yeah, sponsored by. He is sponsored. He should have Trojan on his jersey because his role is to be the natural defensive mid to allow them to move forward. Man City did not take advantage of this, hence why they never really posed the question to Real Madrid. Whereas he allows for Modric and Kroos to push forward, to put pressure on Gabi and Koke, those midfielders that are controlling the game most of the time for Atletico, and just to be that protection in case Griezmann wanders into that hole and he can make the tackle and have Ramos be more structured at the back. That's the brief breakdown. We're going to do it more so tactically as we get closer to the big game on May 28th. But we wanted to give our initial thoughts on the Champions League.
Yeah, I just want to run real quick through because who loves stats? I love
Americans love stats.
I love stats. UCL top goal scorers this season. I just thought it was interesting because Ronaldo is banging in goals left and right. And there's only one name from Atletico left on that list, and that is Antoine Griezmann, I should say.
Yes, another crucial member of this team.
Of course. I mean, really, in a Champions League final with that much pressure, with everything coming down on you in a one-off situation, every player is crucial. Every player has to play at their best. Wow, bold analysis. I think the last thing I wanted to mention is I think it's going to be a big test for Zidane.
Yes.
In the 70th minute, if Modric is tired or dogging it again, what challenge is going to come your way? Who do you sub in? Who are you going to replace him with? Especially where I think you're going to be right. I think it might be 1-0 in the 70th minute for Atletico. You need to find a way to score goals.
It's going to be a one-goal match. And the last point, very, very last thing, is Ronaldo will have extra incentive because he just needs one more goal to therefore make this his best and most successful Champions League season ever. He's equaled his own record of most Champions League goals in a season in 16.
I think he wants the trophy too.
I think he wants that and the trophy.
Closing on a Messi.
Interesting. All right, let us know what you guys think. We are all excited for May 28th. We will be doing plenty more coverage around it. You know, myself and Jason will be here. Tactics will be here. Facebook Live in. Go over to facebook.com/TYT Sports. Check us out on Twitter @TYT Sports. Jason Hogan 91. Francis _Maxwell. We can't wait. Who have you got? Atletico or Real? Hit us in the comments.